We stay in the mobility area, but we switch now to the rails. Next impulse is going to be about DB Cargo, our journey towards a data-driven company. And I want to welcome to the stage now Arlene Bühler from DB Cargo. Yes, you are the CIO and CDO of DB Cargo AG, and one of your central tasks is to shift even more freight from road to the environmentally friendly rail, and that through automation and digitalization. Yeah, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. So before I start, perhaps I can see some hands. Who actually traveled more than 300 kilometers, Philip? Okay. And who came by train? Okay. And who likes the train? Okay. Then I'm a little bit disappointed. So hopefully I can make a case for you to like the train even better. And I can hopefully also explain to you why we are in the current situation. I'm a representative of German Railway, but I'm actually not taking care of the passenger transportation, but of the rail freight transportation. And one question I would like to ask as well is, how many million tons do you think we are transporting every year? Just a couple of...
100 million.
That's already good. It's actually more. Any other guess? It's actually 227 million tons a year. That sounds like a huge number, but if you think about it, that currently in Europe we only have around 18% accounting for rail freight, and in Germany only 17 to 18%, then that is something that we would like to improve. And how do we want to improve it? We want to make rail freight the first choice of logistics. And if you can see here, we are the answer to CO2 reduction and CO2 as well neutral transportation and logistics. And right now, when you see the numbers, I'm always very impressed by this. If you see a full train, a freight train that can replace up to 52 trucks, and right now we are already taking 22 million trucks off the road. But then again, 17, 18%, that's not really a lot. So DB Cargo is the biggest European rail freight provider. We're in 18 countries. We're more than 30,000 employees. And our mission is to increase this number. Yeah. Our goal is by 2030 to achieve 25% in Germany in terms of rail freight in the logistics and transportation sector, and in Europe, 30%. And how do we do this? With digital and automation solutions. First of all, obviously to make the customer access very, very easy. Who are our customers? We're in B2B. Our customers are typically your DAX 40 companies. We are in automotive, we're in chemical, we are also in the steel industry. So how do we get them to actually find us and also make us the first choice? That we also do with easy customer access. We want to become the Amazon of the rail freight business. Yeah, it's a very challenging goal, but we're constantly working on this. And also we are looking very much in automated driving operations. I come from the automotive, a little bit further ahead, actually in the railway industry. I think a lot of people don't know that. So we are already quite ahead, but due to legislation, and obviously we also have train drivers that are still part of the journey and have to be part of the journey. But that's something where we are also, as a European Union, are heavily investing. Then we have digital automatic coupling. Today, everything is done manually. We have a video later that shows you also how these wagons are being now put together. So it's a very manual, very hard work. One coupling process means that you have to lift a lever that is 20 kilos heavy. So it's real manual work. Of course, there are not a lot of people anymore that want to do that kind of a job. And the topic where we invest heavily right now, and I see a colleague from German Railway from the AI factory that has a presentation later, is we invest heavily in AI. And we have already quite good cases also in the rail freight business. And that's what I would like to talk to you about today. We heard a lot during the last 2 days about the importance of data. And that for us as a real old economy, if you look at all of German Railway, we are 330,000 employees worldwide, and we have about 18 different business divisions. And since I saw a couple of hands earlier who likes to take the train today, it is challenging. Yes, we acknowledge it is challenging, but we're constantly working on the whole system to make it better. So why is it challenging? Because we share the tracks, the passengers trains and the rail freight trains share the same track. So unlike in other countries, and I know the example comes, but in Japan, it's always faster, it's always on time. Yes, because they have fast trains on a separate lane. We don't have it. So what is very important for us that we know if incidents happen, for instance, weather changes, or we have sometimes people on the tracks, that we immediately get informed from our different business divisions what that means for our traffic. And as I mentioned earlier, our clients for DB Cargo are the DAX 40 companies. So they expect that at any point of time, we can tell them where their goods are and when they will be delivered, because obviously you also have in the supply chain production processes behind it. So that is something where we are, as a whole company, not as DB Cargo, have also invested quite a bit to create a data governance model, a data governance organization, and we are actually implementing it right now at DB Cargo. So we have a lot of experts here in place. I don't have to go into details, but what I would like to talk to you a little bit about is that we don't see data only as a technical challenge. We see it also very much as a cultural challenge, as a mindset challenge, and that starts all with sharing data. Yeah, whoever is here working in big companies, even in mid-sized companies, what we see often is that it's not really the notion of I work for German Railway, but I work for DB Cargo, I work for DB Fernverkehr, I work for DB Regio. And on a central level, years ago, this was already established to really feel also as one ecosystem. We are sharing the same tracks. We are, as a German Railway workforce, also very much motivated to increase the customer experience, both on the business side and on the passenger side. And that means that we have to also work closer together and share our own data here, because otherwise we will not be able to give you as our customers the right data when your train leaves the station, or if you can connect to your next destination. So that is something that we have worked on a German Railway on a corporate level. And we at DB Cargo, we have used this model where we are, and this kind of shows it quite nicely, not just see it from a technological perspective, but very much focus on the data governance and on an organization. Yes, of course, we focus on technology, and I'm very happy to share that we have a very good team in place, not just on the DB Cargo side, but also on the German Railway side, where we very much invested into the cloud and also in data lakes. So we at DB Cargo are using this technology that is provided to us on group level, and we are actually educating very much our business partners on why they should give up on their databases and Access and Excel and migrate their data into our data lake. And we have done it quite successfully. We have not reached our goal yet, but I would say 60–70% of all the data that we have at DB Cargo and all the individual data archives have been implemented into this data lake. And with that, we go into the next stage where we say we would like to democratize also data, meaning we call it data for all, that we educate our business partners where we can say this is also some visualization software that we provide to you. We show you that this is actually much more intuitive than your old Excel spreadsheets. And there we are right now, very much now involved with also partners that actually help us to do that kind of upskilling. We are an old economy. We are not an IT company. And to explain to our business users that if they are a little bit more patient and learn new skills, it's actually easier than finding your Excel table, doing pivot tables and whatever, and doing it in a more holistic way where we can also see if we have something in our operations that doesn't work, how does this actually influence the customer communication to our clients. So this is like the model that we're looking at. And of course, we have also invested in new working models as well. So we are in central IT department and are also working very closely with our business partners. Some of our business partners in our business have their own IT and also successfully build up their own ecosystem there. But for us, it's quite important to work together as a community. And we are, it's now, I guess, like a buzzword, but we work more in a DevOps model where we go into the notion of building joint product teams. After the model, you build it, you run it. And then obviously we also work with partners. We have an internal IT partner. We have our colleagues from the group that we work together with. But overall, the goal is, of course, that our customer experience will get improved. And when I talk about we, then this is something that we're starting now in Germany, which is quite established already. But as I said earlier, we are in 18 other countries. And here the challenge is, of course, to bring in also the data from the countries with all the legislation that is behind this. We're also in China. So obviously we also have to look very much into what does it mean for us to exchange the data and what does it actually also mean to give access to all our environment. So what we have established is currently being rolled out in Germany, but definitely that is something that we would also like to increase and then hopefully also have a whole ecosystem in Europe that we can track wherever we are in Europe, not just the freight, but also offer data-driven services. And that is basically the next step that we're also looking into. How can we create services, data services that our customers out there can also improve their own business processes. So a big picture with a lot of text, what it shows is that we are utilizing the very well-established group level concept that has been set up years ago, I think 6 years ago. I think German Railway is one of the few large companies that has established a data catalog. I think we're very, very proud of this, that we have a data catalog where we can access data across all business units. As I said, it's always difficult to explain to you as our customers why it's so complicated, because very often we get the question, why is it so complicated? It's just driving trains. No, it's not, because we actually share the tracks, and that's why it was very important to standardize the data and also put roles up that are standardized across all the business units, and that's what we have also established here. And in order to show you a little bit what we are doing, I brought a couple of cases. So this is basically one of our yards. This is how it looks like. Really heavy wagons here. And you also have to find all the wagons. And you can see here that we have about 5 million shipments a year in all of Europe. So quite a big number, and how do you organize it? And we have come up years ago with a customer portal called Link to Rail. And this customer portal is connected to our client systems. And here with our clients can do the ordering, but they can also track their freight and also can work together with us to define new cases. Another example that we have here is more in the Internet of Things space. We have put 64,000 wagons out and implemented sensors on them. And with the sensors, we can now track all the wagons all across Europe. And as I said earlier, we would like to also talk to our clients what else do they need. I have one example, which I thought it was actually quite interesting. I worked for Volkswagen before, and whoever was in Volkswagen in Wolfsburg, and you see how big the whole area is, it's actually as big as Granada. And they have their own, rail freight station, so to say, where they put all the logistics together. And it's sometimes very hard to find these wagons. Yeah. So we help them basically now with GPS and also with the sensors to find their wagons and also obviously improve the logistics chain, because when we find them earlier, we can also plan when supply is being delivered, what are we doing with the empty freight wagons. And these are all some use cases that we also have developed with our clients. And to give you another example, give you a bit of a feel what our challenges are and how we are addressing it, I would like to show you a quick video, and I hope it's working. We tested it before. Okay.
Deutsche Bahn wants to further push freight transport with programs for automation and digitalization.
Digitalisierung, Automatisierung vorantreiben. Ich glaub's erst, wenn ich sehe.
Ja, warte mal, da kann ich dir schon was zeigen.
DB Cargo is on its way to an intelligent rail freight transport system. This is important for the climate and for a more sustainable economy. To achieve this, we will make rail freight transport more accessible to inspire our customers, significantly increase rail capacity to relieve pressure on our roads, and optimally manage our resources and trains for a higher efficiency and quality. How does this work? We digitize and automate production for a future-proof rail freight transport. We've already implemented many ideas for that purpose. We are making a start with the intelligent freight wagons. The intelligent freight train is the next step, and with increasing networking of locomotives, wagons and software, we will finally achieve an intelligent rail freight transport system. The way we approach this is no secret, with integrated terminals and accesses to the system, with automated feeder traffic, with automatic train composition and decomposition, with efficient driving on the track, with full consignment and asset transparency, with smart resource planning and control, and with smart maintenance. This is how the intelligent system of rail freight transport becomes a reality. Digitalization and automation make us significantly more efficient and competitive, so that together we can put even more goods on the rails, and more reliably than ever before. One thing is very important here. Digitalization and automation do not do the job alone, but they support our colleagues in their tasks, and at the same time, they also create completely new jobs.
Siehste, wir sind schon auf dem richtigen Weg in die Zukunft. Und wenn jetzt alle mitmachen, dann kann es nur gut werden.
Das ist echt spannend. Und da soll noch mehr passieren.
Auf jeden Fall. Mal gucken, was noch so kommt.
That gives you a little bit of a feel what we are currently working with. And yes, we are old economy, but as I said, digitalization, automation is for us the key to become carbon neutral. And data has a very, very important factor for us. So this is a recent example we are very proud of. We have installed 13 camera bridges. Here we generate 300,000 images per month, where we are now actually coming from machine learning now into implementing an AI model. This has also been done with the colleagues from the German Railway AI Factory. And that is something that really helps us, right? If you look at the whole full train, it's 740 meters long, and there's actually a person that has to walk up and down to see if there are any damages. So this really helps us that we can automatically detect any kinds of damages. And here you can see that the software has been already implemented. We are working together with universities. As I said, it's the early stage right now. And this is also very important to us. We are not replacing any of our colleagues. We are having more the goal of a human to machine interaction, meaning that we would like to give our colleagues the opportunity to make better decisions. So, and this is one of the prototypes that we have implemented right now. And another one that we have started is also on a stationary basis. We have a lot of wagons that you saw, and they're sometimes up to 50 years old. And obviously we also have to look that the brakes are always working. And so we started another project where we are looking into the brakes if they are functioning already. And again, in the past, somebody really had to go under the, or even today has to go under the wagon and has to look at it. And obviously this is not a very attractive job anymore. So we are also constantly looking at how we can address this, that we also have enough colleagues that ensure that we are basically on safe rail freightways. So thank you very much. This was a short glimpse of DB Cargo and what we're doing today in terms of data. And I'm still around for a little while if you have done any questions, because I think oh no, actually I have 1 minute for questions. I can see, then I'm happy to answer. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, thank you also from my side. And indeed, you have some more time for questions. So if there are any questions, please now. Yeah.
You explained nicely how the data, the additional data you will get will make the customer experience good and the employee experience. But I didn't get how you want to increase the capacity from now 17% to 25%, because I was under the impression that you either have to make the trains longer or you make the distances between the trains shorter, because there will, I mean, infrastructure projects in Germany, they don't go. I mean, they take forever.
Yes, that definitely, as I said, we acknowledge the challenge, but you said one.
I mean, yeah, less cargo, then you have a higher percentage. That's right. If the overall cargo amount goes down, then you...
But as I said, I mean, in terms of automated driving, that's exactly what we're looking at, on how we can reduce the space between.
Project from the other, that each train gets a sensor and you don't have the sensor
Exactly.
anymore, but you just measure if the track is free, but you need, I don't know, million sensors.
Yes, but that's actually what we are working on to increase this. And yes, 2030 was the initial goal, 7 years. Now we have obviously also a lot of constructions that are going underway, but this is something that we do in parallel. And important is also that we do it in all of Europe. Because for freight, 60% of our rail freight crosses borders, and we do that 60%. Yeah, so we do it also with our partners. And European Train Control System is also another very important technology for us, where you have digital signals and that are all standardized across Europe.
We have room for another short question and short answer. I don't see any raised hands. So, thank you then again. It was a pleasure to listen to your impulse. And yeah, we will move on to the
Thank you.
next presentation here.